Well, the first time I met Marilen, and I've spent a little time thinking about that, she was brought on as an executive secretary back in 1990. I'd been with the organization probably 8 plus or minus years. So I probably saw her at the front desk. We chatted a little bit. Other than being friendly and I didn't really know her in depth as to what she meant for the organization at that time, but that grew as we got to know each other and as she evolved in the organization.
I honestly can't tell you the first time I met Marilen because it was so long ago. I must have met her about the time I started my company, which was 28 years ago when I got active in ACEC. But my impression of her at the time, she was the deputy to the executive director, whose name was Sandy Donnell. And my impression was that Marilen was an outstanding second in command. And then I was on the board when Sandy retired and we made Marilen the executive director. And there was no question in the board's mind that she was the right person for the job.
Oh, it's been a tremendous experience working with her in leadership. I've really come to admire how Marilen's been able to adapt to the changing times and the changing environment, and to get others engaged that previous to her taking over the executive director, I think the membership was a little more stagnated in the composition of the active members.
My favorite memory of working with Marilen occurred in Colorado Springs at an ACEC national convention. The ACEC National came to Colorado for the national fall meeting, and we had a lot going on in ACEC Colorado, and Marilen felt like we should have a seat at the table in front of the executive committee, and she asked for it, and they told her no. And then she demanded it and they told her yes. So I was just really impressed that Marilen walked into the room and told everyone who was happy to give directions how things were going to work, and gave us the opportunity to talk about what we were doing and pitch some really great ideas.
My favorite memory with Marilen was when I was president, and you get to do the trip over to the West Slope, and we were in the car for a long time and really got to know her a little better. It was just a fun time, and probably got to know her a little longer if she didn't have such a heavy foot, and we got back to Denver really quick. So yeah.
The memories at this point are kind of all muddled together, but one of my favorite memories, and I think it's a conglomeration of memories, is her slowly winning me over to being part of the political process, politics. And I'm like, I don't have to deal with that. I don't have to know about that. But really what she did for me is impress on me that knowledge is power, and who you know is power. And that is my favorite memory of Marilen, is the connections she makes and how much power that gives the engineering industry.
One thing I've learned from Marilen is that I may be a great engineer, creative, innovative, all those things. But when it comes to running a business, we were never trained in it. And what I learned from her is that there's resources on everything from HR to financial to working together for things that engineering companies need.
Let's see, my favorite memory of Marilen was working with her on House Bill 151197, Duty to Defend. She really stepped up to help the industry. She led that charge, and she improved a lot of the consulting industry in Colorado dramatically with that effort.
Marilen, the impact that she's had on ACEC Colorado and our industry in general in Colorado has been just truly amazing, because she's taken our association to a whole new level in terms of visibility and respect, and who lawmakers call when they're wondering what the engineers think of an issue. And not only that, but she's developed things that help our businesses and our employees. She's just really kicked it up to a new level. Outside of Colorado, I'm not sure everybody understands the impact Marilen's had on a national level. Colorado, as everybody knows, is not in the top 10 states of population in the country, but we are in the strength of our organization at the national level. And that's opened up all kinds of opportunities for our members and for our companies. And that is all due to Marilen.
I'd like to thank Marilen for setting a legacy of leadership and for opening so many doors to a new kid from Illinois joining the Colorado architecture and design community. You know, it was my first meeting outside of AIA people in Colorado when I made the walk down from our office to the ACEC office and met with Marilen and Heidi at the suggestion of one of my mentors back in Illinois from ACEC, who said, when you get to Colorado, you have to meet Marilen.
I really want to thank Marilen for the years of being an incredible partner with CCA and with me personally. Marilen is so incredibly knowledgeable about our industry and such a passionate advocate, and she's just been someone who I've really enjoyed working with.
I want to thank Marilen for, first and foremost, 14 years of awesome partnership with AGC and other industry associations working on public policy and legislative of the state. But not only just partnership, but Marilen was a wealth of knowledge. So I'm probably breaking the rules here because I'm thinking of for two things, but a wealth of knowledge and history on public policy, on legislative, both at the Golden Dome and at Denver City Hall on a whole host of topics.
I want to thank you for being there for me. I just can't believe what I've learned from you for leadership and for just helping out when I needed it.
Marilen, I'd like to thank you for your encouraging me to get on the board. And during my tenure on the board, all the mentoring and assistance you provided for me going through the chairs. And I wish you the best of luck and happiness in your retirement.
So I want to thank Marilen for being my friend and my advocate and helping me in my career as an engineer.
I want to thank Marilen for her dedication to the council, her ability to adapt to changing economic times and the needs of the council, and the great job I think she's done in transitioning the leadership from herself to Heidi.
Marilen, I would really like to thank you for being a great executive director of ACEC Colorado all these years, for helping all our companies achieve their goals, and for never being afraid to call a public official and ask them to change their contract. We are all better off for your time in ACEC Colorado. Really gonna miss you. We are going to especially miss you during this legislative session. You have been so effective at making a difference. We wish you well in your retirement and hope that you have more fun than ever in the coming years.
Marilen, I'd like to thank you for your leadership and your encouragement. All these years, you have helped me to be better, to seek new answers, and to try again. I'd also really like to thank you for your friendship. You've stood by me during times in my life that were challenging. You've listened, you've given me advice, and you've given me, most importantly, friendship. And for that, I am truly grateful. I'm so excited to continue to hear about the next chapters of your life. I can't wait to hear more about your children and your grandchildren and what they're doing, and also all of the fun and exciting things you can now join into because your schedule is not nearly as crowded as it was before.
On the business side of the relationship, I want to thank Marilen for her incredible dedication to the success of our businesses. She has consistently put the success of our businesses and our employees ahead of her own. And I think that is really a rare thing to find in the world. On a personal side, I just really want to thank Marilen for her incredible friendship over the years.
Well, Marilen, it's been a pleasure for me to kind of share some of my thoughts about your and my interface over the years. And I would like to thank you for the friendship you've given me, the leadership you've provided to the organization. It's been a real pleasure to know you over the years. And I hope you're looking forward to the next chapter in your life, that it'll be as fulfilling to you as it was to all the members and myself during your time as Executive Director of ACEC Colorado. Thank you so much, Marilen. Wish you the best.